Welcome to another edition of the Breath of Fresh Air webcast on YouTube. I am Charles Taylor and I have Patrick Brackett with me. Say what's up, Patrick.
What's up, everybody?
All right, so we have a lot to cover on this episode. Didn't get on here last week, so we're going to catch up a little bit with everything that has happened in the sports world, mostly the NFL and a little bit of baseball as well. But first, we have to begin with the sad news that transpired over the weekend. We had the deaths of two prominent people. So, Patrick, let's start first with Arnold Palmer passing away. So he was 87 years old, one of the pioneers of golf. And I personally don't know a whole lot about golf. I mean, I know a good amount of the players and I know a little bit of the rules, but I do know that Arnold Palmer was one of the most respected, not just players, but people who has ever played the game. So, I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean, look, as a matter of fact, Patrick, if anybody who has a drink named after them, you know they were a big deal. So
That's true. That's true. One day I'm gonna have a. They're gonna be drinking the Patrick bracket one day, and that's gonna have like 20 different liquors and a splash of Coke, and I'll get drunk.
what are your thoughts about Arnold Palmer, Patrick?
It's like I love golf. Um, Grew up a lot watching my grandpa. My grandpa always told me, if you want to make $1 million, you want to do something, play golf. And yeah, it probably should have. Arnold Palmer. Here's some statistics for you. First major athlete to earn $1 million in a major sport.
That's right.
um, he not only helped. He really didn't. Pretty much like you were saying, how he pioneered golf. What he really did was he made it mainstream. Um, Without Arnold Palmer, dude, we wouldn't be anywhere where golf is today. Fantastic player, man. I mean, he won like over 20 majors, dude. He's a fantastic golfer. Like you said, if you have a drink named after you, must be a big deal. But yeah, revolutionized anything golf. And honestly, dude, he really kind of started revolutionizing anything sports, really. Without him scoring or making that amount of money, where would we be at? We sure wouldn't be getting these 35-40 million a year deals with all these players now. I'll say that. But my grandpa always told me, he goes, if you want to play golf, or if you want to play a sport, play golf. Tiger Woods, let's look at him for a minute. First player to ever hit $1 billion. That's $1 billion in a major sport. He done it in golf. So golf is revolutionizing any way that you're earning money. But it started with Arnold Palmer, man.
Well, now, Patrick, fact check me on this, but I think Jack Nicklaus is still the leader with 18 majors. I think Arnold Palmer won 7 majors, but he won a lot of other tournaments.
Well, let's fact check that real quick. Like, no, you spot me a minute, and I'll look that up.
Got you. Well, but it was just sad. I mean, is that looking at all the tributes and stuff that came from all the golfers, past, present, and even the guys who will be playing in the future. I mean, it just kind of shows just how much he meant to them. From all accounts, it was just him just being one of the nicest people. Really, that you didn't hear anybody have anything bad to say about him, and they said how much of a class act he is. So, like you said, he was the first one to make $1 million and made golf mainstream. And I mean, everything you said was pretty much right on the money. I really don't have much to add if you don't.
Well, I got this one thing to add. Fat check already done. You're right. He won 7 majors, but he won over 25 tournaments. Not major tournaments, but PGA tournaments, and puts him at like 5th overall with the amount of wins.
Yeah, yeah, because I think Jack Nicklaus is 18, Tiger Woods is 14, but Tiger Woods hasn't won since 2008, or a major since
Yeah.
2008, the U.S. Open. So, but yeah, man, very very sad passing of Arnold Palmer, and as when you said in the Open, he was 87 years old. So, Patrick, that brings me to my next topic, where we're talking about we go from a life that was lived to another one that was cut tragically short. And I'm talking about Miami Marlins pitcher Jose Fernandez, 24 years old, got in an accident in a boat off of a jetty off of Miami Beach. Uh, the same thing we just said about Arnold Palmer. You can say the same thing about Jose Fernandez too. And I mean, a lot of the players who have played against him, and particularly the people who were on the team with the Marlins, just talked about how full of life he was. Just being in the majors altogether. You heard the story about him trying to defect from Cuba to 4 attempts to get there. I guess he got there at the age of 15 and worked to become one of the best pitchers
Mhm.
that we had in the game. And I don't know if you caught it yesterday, Patrick, but did you see the tribute the team did for him and how they went about the game against the Mets? Did you get to catch that at all?
Yeah, well, I watched the beginning of it because I watched the beginning of it and obviously watched the end of the game. I was a little busy. I didn't get to watch the whole game. Um, but yeah, I love the fact that they all wore the number 16. That was really cool. Um, I know that they put the number 16 on the mound, signed all the hats. That was really cool. But above and beyond that, man, apparently he made a very huge mark in Miami because they're retiring his number, dude. That is very interesting to me because you normally don't get a retired jersey unless you make the Hall of Fame. So in baseball, this is very huge. That interested me a lot because, like I said, you don't see that. Normally, you have to make the well, you don't have to, but you make a career, and then your number is retired. And apparently, I think this is the last game, or they're going to finish off the rest of the season, or whatever they're going to do. I think they're finish off the rest of the season, and this will be the last time that number 16 will ever be worn.
Yeah. And I think it was more about the mark he made on the city of Miami as well. I mean, yes, he did make a mark on the Marlins, but I think in Miami, you think about the demographic down there, there's a big Cuban population there, obviously, because of just how close they are to Cuba and some of the other territories down there, like Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, and those other places, Jamaica. So it's really close to Cuba, though, particularly. And uh, I think even if a lot of the Cubans down there did not know Jose Fernandez, I think the big thing was he was kind of looked at as one of them because I guess a lot of the people down there, they had defected or had parents or grandparents that defected to try to make a better life for their children.
Mhm.
So I think in Jose Fernandez, they saw a lot of themselves in him. And sports has a funny way of doing that because some of the players they can identify with the city just from maybe their background, and I think that was the effect that Jose Fernandez had on that city. So I think
Yeah.
the Marlins saying they're going to uh, retire the number 16, I think that has a big part to do with it as well. Yeah, I think with the Marlins, I mean, I think you would agree with me. He was probably on his way to being a very good pitcher. We don't know if he was going to get into the Hall of Fame or not, but the potential was definitely there. And
I
so,
think he was definitely on his way. I mean, dude, you have to really do make some. points in your career to be in the Hall of Fame as a pitcher. It's not like a quarterback in football, man. You really got to do something. I mean, look at what Greg Maddux did before he entered the Hall of Fame. John Smoltz, a couple of them guys. You know what I'm saying? They had to put crazy numbers up just to even get entered, and I don't even think John Smoltz made it on his first time. So Fernandez was definitely on his way. He had a great pitching rotation, and it was
Rookie of the year too.
yeah. So he was definitely on his way. You don't know if he was going to make the Hall of Fame, but you definitely at an early point in his career, unfortunately, it ends. But you could say that he was definitely on his way.
And man, I don't know if you got to catch this either, Patrick, but if you go to Yahoo Sports, there are details of the final hours beforehand. And I guess the story in Yahoo was saying how he had asked a few of the players to go on the boat with him. He had a couple of close friends, and one of them said, "Hey, man, maybe you shouldn't." And I'm paraphrasing here, but I guess one of them were saying, "Hey, maybe you shouldn't go out there on the boat at night. It's hard to see out there." It's chilling story. Chilling story. I encourage you to check it out on Yahoo Sports. But just sad, very sad, man, because you're you're thinking everything was out ahead of him in terms of what he can do, and not just in baseball, but I think he had visions of being like a real big humanitarian type of person. I think he wanted that responsibility to lead kids and
Mm-hmm.
try to help them get to their dreams and stuff. So it's just really sad, man. Really, really sad. I mean, 24 years old.
Plus, his
I mean,
girlfriend pregnant.
yes, yes. And his girlfriend was pregnant. And
So I mean,
another,
the story just keeps thickening with him. I mean, it's a lot to leave behind, but you know what? It's it's one of those things, man. You make a choice, and well, with him, he has to stick to it. Me personally, I would have never took my boat out on at night, but that's just me. I don't trust my boat. I don't trust the rocks, dude. I don't trust nature. So, I mean, he took a risk, and it it backfired on him. Unfortunately, I mean, I hate to be like that, but it did. I mean,
and another thing also, Patrick, he, I think, what was his last start? Last Tuesday, I think, against the Washington Nationals, and he shut them out and went 8 innings, 12 strikeouts, no bases on balls. So I think that was one of the best performances he had ever had at the major leagues, and he's had a lot of good performances.
it was one of his
Um,
best. I mean, he did have that shutout last year. He had a shutout, which was my personal opinion was probably one of the best outings he had. He had 14 strikeouts that game, but this one was definitely a second best, and he was fixing to play Atlanta 4 nights later, and they canceled the game.
well, they pushed his start back,
Yeah.
so he's supposed to start on Sunday, but they pushed it back to Monday, and I don't know. I mean, you know the Marlins are thinking in their head, and maybe they shouldn't feel like this, but they probably can't help but think, damn, if he was starting on Sunday, does he go out on the boat? You
Mm-hmm.
just it's just those little things, or not even little things, it's a big thing, but it's just things like that where you just go back and you wonder, what could I have done to maybe prevent something like this from happening? And you just can't help but feel that way. But
You can't help but to think it, but man, It's not the city of Miami's fault. It's not the head coach's fault. He pushed his start back because he needed to push his start back. It's a choice you make as the manager. You know what I mean? It's not his fault. Jose decided to take his boat out. I mean, it is what it is, and it's unfortunate, but I can tell you, just watching some of his interviews, I can tell you, he's not blaming nobody. He's not blaming nobody. If when he messes up, he messed up. He called it. He owned it, and I'm sure he'd probably own this too.
Yeah, as well. I mean, this it's just sad. These two passings here, man, just adds on to a sad year. It's just been a real sad year. Lost a lot of people in the sports world. So to Arnold Palmer and Jose Fernandez, rest in peace to you guys, and condolences go out to the families and loved ones affected.
Absolutely.
Through all the sadness, Patrick, there was action on the field, and I don't really know how to transition from that. I'm just trying to do the best I can.
You don't transition from that. You kind of cut that off, and then you start a new chapter, dude.
Yeah, tough, man, really tough. But yeah, there was action on the field, and we'll start with college. So, what caught your eye from last weekend's college action?
Dude, several games, man. I'm gonna start with Auburn and LSU. LSU's not the truth, man. And I know we're going to talk about Les Miles here in a little bit, but dude, you got it. I'm coming out firing on all cylinders, dude. Auburn beating LSU. I mean, LSU was supposed to be the contender to Alabama, and they ain't even done nothing. But they lost 20 games already. Jeez, they only played 4. They've already lost 20. But we'll talk about LSU later. Second game, Texas A&M and Arkansas. There's a lot of people didn't see Texas A&M coming up and biting some people. Well, there's your contender against Alabama. We'll find out where that one goes. And then, of course, I got to bring up my dogs. I was mad, but I already knew. I didn't throw my dog around. I didn't kick him or anything like that. You don't have to get on me, PETA. I'm not doing any of that stuff. Not this year. But I saw it coming, and honestly, with all the emotion with Ole Miss, I don't think anybody was going to beat Ole Miss this week. I don't even think Louisville would beat Ole Miss this week. So 2 blown games already. They're kind of already out of the conference talk. Might as well play spoiler. So, and they did.
Yeah. Yeah, they blasted Georgia, and yeah, I mean they yeah, like you said, man, they came out hot. It was just one of those games where Ole Miss they were going to learn from those mistakes. Bloodwick leads against Florida State and Alabama, 20-point leads at that, more than 20 points. So yeah, whoever was going to play Ole Miss this week, like you said, they were probably going to get blasted. It just happened to be Georgia. And as far as Georgia goes, yeah, they're gonna have to make a few adjustments. And I just think really they just need to just come out there and play. I think you brought up the whole first year thing with Kirby Smart. So when you're bringing in that new system, you have a lot of things you're trying to implement. And sometimes the players get overloaded by all the things they have to remember. Coaching has to help the players out sometimes. I mean, yes, when you get out there on the field, the players have to execute the plan, but the coaches can help that along. And I think right now for Georgia, it's simplification. Run the football. Do not put Jacob Eason back there to throw 40, 50 times. And on defense, bring pressure. Your front 4 is not getting there. Like against Ole Miss, Chad Kelly had super clean pockets. So you're going to have to change that up. And when they play against Tennessee, which is a game we'll review later or preview later on in the week, Yes, bring pressure toward Josh Dobbs, make him throw in the face. I think that will help Georgia out a lot. Some of the other games,
Well,
I mean,
let me say one thing real quick about this Georgia Ole Miss. All right, look, Georgia fans, I've read the tweets. Everybody, calm down. It takes time for this system to work. Kirby Smart is not a bad coach. Give him a minute. Give him a couple of years. You're implementing a lot of new stuff, new coach, new coaching staff. Red shirt freshmen. We're starting 17 freshmen this year. Calm down. You're not gonna
you
win
know
them
that
all.
don't happen. Come on, Patrick, you in the SEC. You know,
I
you know,
know.
you know,
I know.
people don't have patience.
Nobody in the SEC has patience. I know. But look, I don't have patience. I know it because I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan. But calm down. Let's not ask for Kirby Smart's head on a stick yet. And look, Mark Rick is not coming back. I look, and all those other SEC fans out there that like all that. No, we don't want Mark Rick back. We had topped out with Mark Rick. I love him to death. He's a great coach, but we had topped out. We needed something different. Kirby Smart, we'll give that. Just give it time. I'm done.
Good message from a very loyal Georgia Bulldogs, probably the biggest Georgia Bulldog fan I know. But I think, also, man, I wanted to bring up Wisconsin. They went to Michigan State and blew Michigan State out, blew
Yeah.
them out. And now they have, which is another game, of course, we'll preview later on this week. They go to Michigan. That will be a good one. And so I think that'll be another one we look at later on in the week. But as for Wisconsin going to Michigan State and blowing them out, not a lot of people saw this coming. I mean, Wisconsin, hey, on this show, you have them losing to LSU. That didn't work out too well. So, well, Wisconsin is proving to be better than what a lot of people thought. And I mean, they're just kind of solid. One thing about Wisconsin also, man, they don't beat themselves. I don't remember the last time they committed a penalty.
They've
I
only
mean,
fact check. I'll fact check myself on this one here in a minute. I only think they only committed 2 penalties all season so far. They're the least penalized team in the entire college football, which is amazing because every other team has at least 50 plus in 4 games. Because this has been the sloppiest college football year I have seen. This is absolutely great. I have never seen so many offside calls. I've never seen so many encroachment calls, pass interference. Dude, turn your head around. I mean, good Lord. What are these corners thinking, man?
they're not. I mean, if you really want to know, because
They ain't thinking at all.
Patrick, what's happening is they get beat. They're getting beat off the line of scrimmage, and they're getting beat so bad off the line of scrimmage. Then now they're just playing catch up, and they're trying to catch up. Trying to
A
catch up.
10-yard cushion. I don't know how they could be falling behind.
Well, hey, that's true. Hey, I agree with you, Patrick. But then if you play the 15-yard cushion, well, then they're just going to eat you up short. So really, it just turns into techniques. I mean, look, put yourself in a position, even if it's a bump and run coverage, put yourself in position where you can see what the receiver's doing and what the quarterback's doing, but keep everything in front of you. You can do that playing press man with the cushion. You can do that a lot of ways. The techniques, though, that I'm seeing with a lot of the DBs, and yeah, I mean, you bring up an interesting point about them turning their head around. There, a lot of times they are in position, but they don't turn around because they're panicking, trying to play the man instead of the ball. And then the ball goes right by their ear, right into the hands
And all
of
you
them.
hear is this. You could have caught me.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on with the coaching, man, but to me, that's a simple fix. It's just simple techniques. Make sure you keep everything in front of you and just play the ball. If you can track the ball, then you can play the ball. At that point, you don't have to worry about what the man's doing. You know where the ball is. Go after the ball. Make a play on the ball. And so I don't know. It seems really, really flawed with the deep play and some of the other playing that's going on with whatever holding penalties, encroachment penalties. But Wisconsin, you're not seeing any of that with them. They're on point.
Louisville is quite disciplined too. Louisville.
Yeah, they've been playing pretty
Alabama.
disciplined as well. And that'll be another game we preview later on in the week. They go to Clemson this week. That'll be a good one. So there was one more game. Oh, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Tennessee. So they finally beat Florida for the first time in 90 years? No, no, it has. I'll tell you how long it has been. Tim Tebow was still playing baseball. Yeah.
Oh,
so
it's been like 12 years, hasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been 12 years, dude. Florida, Tennessee been giving them too much cushion, man. That's why he's going. Tennessee, they forgot to turn their head. And they been beat for 12 years. Well, they finally turned their head and stepped up a little bit, and they finally got them. I mean, it took the second half to get there, but finally got there.
So yeah, man, so that caught my A&M. That caught my how they were able to pull away from Arkansas. And yeah, Wisconsin. I'm trying to think, was there anything else that caught my eye? Especially Louisville actually impressed me because of this. They beat Florida State, blew them out, as we know, 63-20. They have Clemson at Clemson next week. So they play this game in Marshall. And it could have been now look, Louisville, I felt was going to win the game. So I'm not surprised they won the game. But this was one of those trap games.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to see how mature Louisville was. How were they going to come in there, take care of business, or were they going to be feeling themselves because they blew out Florida State and look forward to the Clemson game? It was just one of those sandwich games in the middle. Louisville took care of business. They showed some maturity. I got to give Louisville props there.
Yeah, that's the reason why I said Louisville is a very disciplined team. That being a very that is a trap game. Marshall, right in between Florida State and Clemson. Come on, the NCAA tried to get them. They tried to get them, and it didn't happen. So it's going to be very interesting. I mean, that's going to be a good game, man. I picked Clemson to win the ACC, but this could be the teller right here, man, because they should be able to take care of Clemson and take care of the rest of the season. If they do, they get past this. That's it, dude.
Yeah, they got the game in Houston in November also.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So we'll see how that one goes too. But yeah, this one right here does. Yeah, so we'll see. Well, nothing else on college, Patrick. Then let's move on to the NFL and talk about what caught your eyes there. I kind of know where you're going, but what caught your eyes with the NFL?
There was a couple of games. New England, dude. How do you beat the team? I mean, dude, Houston was supposed to have this rock solid defense, fantastic offense, and New England throws out the freaking football machine and still won. I mean, the football machine has 3 legs and it doesn't move. That's it. It just spins, and it still threw 3 touchdowns.
I was gonna say they got the ringer out of the stands and just
got him too. It doesn't matter. Shit, they were just putting somebody in there. Like, I don't care. You, ball boy, go. Hey, Gatorade jug, get in. Go throw a touchdown for me because you can. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. I mean, Bill Belichick.
He's a beast, dude. There's nothing you can say. He's a beast.
Yeah, the plug and play system. There's your plug and play system. I don't think Charles, how many times have I told you plug and play systems do not work? Bill Belichick's plug and play system. I'll put anybody in. I'm gonna put my 6-year-old son in. What? We won again? Oh, surprise.
And here's the thing. Here's another thing about New England that you bring up, Patrick. This team, is the most multiple game specific team there is in sports. Not just in football, in sports, because they had Jimmy Garoppolo in against Miami, and they were just kind of rolling the pocket a little bit, making sure he did get out a little bit, but he was also throwing from the pocket. In 4 days, 4 days, you bring in Jacoby Brissett, and now they're running read options. They're running, I mean, run pass option plays. They're running a completely different offense for him. But they are putting him in successful situations where A, it's not hurting the team, and B, it is keeping the defense completely off balance. That JJ Watt, oh, by the way, JJ Watt re-injured his back, maybe on injured reserve, or he is going on injured reserve, but they don't know if it's season-ending injured reserve, or at least those are the reports I have seen. But big injury for the Texans.
Yeah.
But about JJ Watt in that game wasn't a factor. They took him away. New England had a plan, took him away. Jadeveon Clowney did nothing. So I mean, they just New England. I don't know, man. It's crazy how. Again, people want to talk about Bill Belichick and say that he cheats and all this other stuff. And again, I mean, we can debate this all day long, but the scandals, the Spygate, Deflategate, overblown to me. It's not really, to me, it doesn't make any difference on whether or not they were going to be successful. It just didn't.
Right.
But if you want to go ahead and throw those two scandals out there, remember, they have been good for a decade and a half. All right. A decade and a half in an era, Patrick, where it is free agency. Players have come and go in that system, but yet they have managed to keep the consistency of winning there. There's got to be some skill there. That's all I'm saying. There's got to be a little bit of skill, a little bit.
Maybe about this much.
All right. As long as you give them a little bit, Patrick, that's all I'm saying. I mean,
Dude, I don't even. There's no words for what New England is doing right now. I mean, that's insane. You lose your best quarterback, hands down, probably the best quarterback ever to play the game. Statistically wise, and he's coming back. He's coming back like after next week, possibly 4-0. Dude, they're going to be 4-0. I mean, come on.
They should. Yes,
they should. So you're looking at a team that, I mean, is going to be 4-0 even without Tom Brady. I mean, this team is probably going to win the Super Bowl without Tom Brady. Now, you're going to be wrong. I got Green Bay winning, and I still feel good with that. But come on. 4-0? Come on. I don't even know. I don't know. My next game, we're going to go back to that. Next game. I don't even know why I'm out. Dude, Minnesota. What the? Sam Bradford, what is he doing? What is it? Dude, what? Again, here we are. We're talking about a plug-and-play system. They have fixed this for a plug-and-play system, and here they are, 3-0. I mean, even with a crappy quarterback like Sam Bradford. I mean, if you're going to model it behind Bill Belichick, and that's what they did. Now, granted, they're probably not going to do too much with Adrian Peterson going now. I mean, I'm assuming they're going to lose a couple of games here coming up, but good for them.
The thing with Minnesota is they have a very good defense, and as Denver proved last year, if you have a good defense, that can carry you. Now, I don't know if Minnesota's defense is that good, but right now, man, I mean, they have shut down two of your best quarterbacks in the league. They shut down Aaron Rodgers in their first game at the new stadium they have up there in Minneapolis. And last week they shut down Cam Newton, sacked him 8 times.
8 times.
8 times. So this is Mike Zimmer was a defensive coordinator with Cincinnati, and He obviously has that fingerprint of having a strong defense with Minnesota because they're one of the best defenses in the league, and they're showing it right now tenfold. I got to give Philadelphia some props.
Yeah,
And
that was my next team. But I'm gonna tell you, man, dude, it's Carson Wentz, man. He is fantastic quarterback, dude. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna say it. He's a fantastic quarterback. He does what is necessary to win, and with this being a quarterback driven league, it's about time we finally got some quarterbacks out there that can play, including Prescott, Wentz, and then the other rookie. I can't think of his name right now.
Right. Well, which other one is playing? Oh, I know Cody Kessler got a start, and he played all right in Cleveland. Jared Goff ain't playing right now.
They played all right. I mean, but
because Jared Goff ain't playing for the Rams right now for whatever reason. So,
well, dude,
he's number one pick.
well, let me tell you something. Carson Palmer's coming out too. He sucks.
Well, Carson Palmer, yeah, about Arizona. Carson Palmer, yeah, he's a turnover machine, and the thing is just what I've said about quarterbacks in general. If you are going to be successful nowadays in the NFL or in football, you have to be able to move a little bit. It is not enough in this day and age. And I hear all the analysts, you have to be able to win from the pocket. That's the only way you're going to win. You have to consistently be able to win from the pocket. I think that's part of it. Yes, you do have to be able to throw from the pocket. You have to be able to just dissect defenses from the pocket. I get it. But if you can't move when these blitzes are coming at you and you got these big 300-pound defensive tackles who can blow out your offensive guard sometimes, and you can't move, you're going to get sacked and probably fumble or throw an interception because the pressure is going to be in your face. And that's what I'm seeing with Carson Palmer, man. Carson Palmer can't move. And so he's getting ate up back there. Oh, and another primary pocket passer, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh, God.
Man, 6 picks? This 6? And this is the guy that
supposed to save the Jets?
Oh, yeah. Come on, man. All I'm saying,
Jets at now? Where's the Jets at? They're tied for second with the Dolphins and Buffalo.
1 and 2. So I mean, but as a quarterback, you have to be able to move a little bit. It's not enough to just be able to be a pocket passer. That's not going to cut it. Not in this day and age. You have to be. You're seeing quarterbacks who can move getting whooped. Cam Newton, perfect example, 8-time sack. Russell Wilson. The man can make a lot of plays, but he runs for his life too. Well, he didn't against us really last week, but actually, you know what? I don't know if you saw the injury he had, but the knee injury he had, that was an ugly one, and they're saying it's just a sprained MCL. But I thought he tore a bunch of ligaments with that one. I was like, oh my goodness.
I thought they did the blender on his leg, dog.
Yeah, that didn't look good at all. Not at all. But they're saying that he's probably gonna play this coming week at New York against the Jets. Oh, one more thing, Patrick, before we move on to Les Miles.
Okay. Well, I got one more thing too.
All right. Well, did you see Odell Beckham get knocked out, or not knocked out, but he got hit by the net?
Oh yeah.
He is such, out there. He's a crybaby, man. He has to get better about managing his frustrations, man. I mean, he's frustrated because things weren't going the way he wanted to get, and then if you rough him up a little bit, he gets upset there. You're gonna have to get better, man, or it's just gonna continue, and you're gonna continue to see these memes on Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Or the one where, or the one where he throws out a Giants helmet. Is that the one you're talking about where it shows Odell Beckham versus the net and he throws out a Giants helmet and it reflects back and hits him in the face? Dude,
Yes.
that was hilarious. That was hilarious. I was crying, dude. I got one more thing though. Um, where did this Atlanta team come from?
Well,
What?
Atlanta has talent.
No, they
They
don't.
do. They do, Patrick. They have talent. Now, it's just a matter of can they put it together. Patrick, they have talent. Stop being so harsh on them. They have talent. It's just a matter of can they put it all together.
Do you know who their quarterback is?
Yes, and he's playing pretty well. Once upon a time, he was supposed to be an elite guy, but he's playing pretty well right now. Yes, Matt Ryan is playing pretty well right now. You can't lie. Look, check it out. As a matter of fact, Patrick, Julio Jones had one catch last night. One.
I
And
know.
they were still able to move the ball
45
with their
points.
best receiver.
I've never seen Atlanta put up 45 points, dude. Never.
Well, look, a lot of times they don't play a defense as terrible as New Orleans either, because New Orleans defense is bad. But
But come on, 45 points even for Matt Ryan and that Falcons team. No.
well, they had a defensive touchdown in there too. I mean, because they got a interception return for a touchdown, and that was probably the back-breaking play. The Saints were actually driving. Atlanta was up 38-25, and then they got a tip ball interception return for a touchdown that put the game pretty much out of reach. But
We should make a statue of that.
So,
but no, I had to turn the TV because I was not listening to Hurricane Katrina from 35 years ago. A steal. I mean, come on. Hurricane Katrina, are we still really on that?
It's a 10-year anniversary, Patrick. So I mean, it's just one of those things. One of the anniversaries that they throw out for everything else. Look, I know you're a Falcons fan. It's okay, but I know. But look, Patrick. Besides that, uh, Atlanta came in there and they took care. They took care of business. So
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm happy, but it doesn't change the fact that I don't know what's going on right now because this is not right. I solely expected for us to be 1-2 and Carolina to be 3-0, and here we are, Carolina 1-2, and we're 2-1. What? I don't. False sense of security. Right?
Games are played. That's why the games are played. But I mean, that's why the games are played. I mean, yeah, we got we have our projections, yes. And I thought Carolina, and they still could. I think Carolina is going to get it together. But right now, hey, give Atlanta a little bit of credit. Now, Atlanta's defense is going to have to get better as the season goes along. They played
better
Oakland because Oakland's defense is not a good. Atlanta's won shootouts. I mean, they have. Atlanta's won some shootouts, so they're gonna have to get better on defense if they plan on doing anything. But Atlanta has some weapons there. They can spread the ball too. They have two running backs who are playing really well right now. Got a nice 1-2 punch with Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman. And if Matt Ryan's going to spread the ball around like that, then that adds a whole nother dimension to Atlanta's offense that we really didn't see coming. Because hey, we were talking about how he's trying to force the ball to Julio Jones.
Different receivers, dude.
So
that was insane. And Julio Jones wasn't even a factor.
Yep.
What? But this goes on my argument. Well, then why did we get rid of Roddy White?
Yeah, I don't know. I still don't know.
I mean, you're gonna spread the ball around, and you got Roddy White, and then you got Julio Jones, and then a couple of more of the receivers that we have now. Dude, you have passing weaponry that no other team would have. I mean, it's just insane. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there, man, because I'm really surprised that they're even 2-1 right now. I'm good with it. I'll take it. But
Well, all right, Patrick. Well, let's move on to our last topic of the day, and that is Les Miles. So he got fired by LSU after the 18-13 loss to Auburn, where the clock management, which has been a bugaboo of Les Miles anyway, kind of bit him, and then they weren't able to get the playoff before that touchdown. That wasn't happened. So he got fired. LSU's 2-2 right now. We both said Les Miles needed to go. Things are getting stale. It was a situation where the offense was not improving. You're getting all these 5-star recruits. You have all these top 5, top 3 recruiting classes, but you're not doing much with them. Now, when you look at the big picture of what Les Miles did, he won a lot. He did win a lot.
mm-hmm.
But things got stale. And I know I had said he's going to have to make a decision. Either he's going to go out like Mac Brown or he's going to go out like Steve Spurrier. Well, he came close to going out like Lane Kiffin, dog. And the reason why I say
Close.
the way, but here's the thing, Patrick.
At least they get to ride home.
Right. The way the school handled this, going back to last year when they were pretty much saying he was on his way out, and then they said, oh, well, no, we'll go ahead and keep him. They handled this terribly. The athletic director, the school president, they handled this terribly. Now, we agree it was probably time for Les Miles to go, but come on. That's bad. That is horrible. And like I said, if they were going to do that, man, they might as well give him the Lane Kiffin treatment. You know what to do. Hey, as soon as you get off the plane, get him fired. You're out of here.
Catch him before he gets on the plane. Hey, Lane, find your way home, bro. Yeah.
I mean, but in the football sense, just talking about what happened on the field, Patrick, it was just a situation, and I think it goes back to when they lost to Alabama in the 2011-2012 national championship game. Ever since then, it's been kind of that downward spiral for LSU where they were having 8-3 seasons, sometimes 9-2, and I think there was probably a 10-win season in there, but they weren't going to those elite bowls. You know, your New Year's Six bowls, as they call them. They were going to, whatever bowl. Whatever. It was like the Peach Bowl before it became the New Year's Six Bowl. And
nowadays they just have a fish bowl with nothing but a bunch of words in it. And they draw from it. They just draw from it, and they're like, oh, okay, so okay, cool. We'll just do this as the Tulip Fresh. What is this word? I don't even know what this word. Tulip Fresh Pizza Bowl.
Yeah.
And now you only got to win 4 games in the season to get a bowl game now. To me, dude, it's going to get to the point where it's participation bowls. That's what they is. Thanks for participating in college football. Here's you a bowl game.
You have a 1-12 record and you're getting a bowl.
You have an 0-13 record, you still got a bowl. Hey, we still got a bowl. It sucks, but we're in there.
Well, Patrick, I mean, yeah, but on the field with Les Miles, yeah, it started, I think, from that point where they lost the national championship game to Alabama, and one of the quickest ways to lose your job at any school especially in the SEC and some of your other power conferences, is if you cannot beat your chief rival. Mm-hmm. They have lost 5 in a row to Alabama. And Alabama during this time has won 3 national titles.
Championships.
Yeah, they've won 4 out of the last 7 titles.
It's like this. They need to grab Nick Saban and tell him and find him, because he's costing a lot of people jobs.
He is. And I mean, when you think about it,
Rick fired. Now you got Les Miles fired. I mean, the least he could do is train people and send them somewhere else so they can coach.
Yeah, and the thing is, when he the thing with Nick Saban also, he's been able to adjust. I mean, he has the system. You know, his identity is going to he wants to go back to the physicality running the football a lot of times, but by bringing in a guy like Lane Kiffin to be the offensive coordinator, you're showing, hey, we can spread it out a little bit, we can throw the ball around, and we can score. So that's the one thing Les Miles would not do is adjust. I mean, he just would not adjust. He had his system in place, and that's what it was going to be. And it was not working out. You still had times where they were just putting up 13, 14 points. You look at the 2 games they've lost this year, they scored 14 points against Wisconsin. One of those touchdowns was defensive, and then they scored 13 points against Auburn. And so it's just, I mean, it was just one of those things. It was time for a change. And I also want to say this, Patrick. I'm not a person who just advocates for coaches just getting fired. I don't want to see people lose their jobs. But if it's time for a change, if it's time for things to kind of get switched up, then it's probably time for that to go. I said the same thing with Texas and Matt Brown. See, South Carolina, Steve Spurrier, and now this. It was time for him to go.
Oh, come on, dude. It's Les Miles. He'll
But
find
hey, yeah, he'll find another job, I'm sure. But if he would have just kept on going for it on 4th downs religiously, I think he still would have had his job.
Oh, yeah. He probably won a championship or 2.
Yep, another one.
More, one or more, But, I look at Les Miles, man. It's like this, man. After that 2011, 2012 season, we started talking about it then. I mean, I remember the conversation. Is it time for Les Miles to go? And what was my answer?
Well, yeah, he was trying to get him out the door. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, I'm not an advocate of saying, look, we need to fire just everybody in the world and what. No, look, it's just like Georgia and Mark Richt. LSU topped out at that 2011, 2012 season, and you got to know when you're topping out. It's just like Georgia. I mean, I commend Georgia and what they did on how they released Mark Richt, offered him another position of even actually higher than what he was at. But Georgia knew that they were topped out. I mean, because they had let Mark Richt go probably the year before. Yes, they probably could have. But they knew they were topped out. Mark Richt knew he was topped out. So when you look at what Mark Richt and Les Miles are doing, both of them knew they topped out. They knew when they topped out. Mark Richt knew he topped out last year. So what does he do? Honestly, I think I somewhat feel he went to the athletic director and said, look, release me so that I can go somewhere else. I really feel he done that. I don't think it was just a flat out fire. Now, with Les Miles is going to stay until he's rooted. You're going to have to actually dig that man up out of the darn ground and get him out of there because he ain't going nowhere. But he knew he topped out. So I'm not saying that they needed to just fire him for no reason. Les Miles topped out. He topped out at the 2012 time, and it was time to go. But he chose to hang around for another 3 years and crap on his career a little bit. But he'll be fine. He's Les Miles. He'll probably go somewhere in the ACC or another SEC team, or might even get into the Big 12 and coach there and make that help with that conference. He'll be fine. I wish he would have just kind of quit and moved on himself, but it is what it is.
Well, all right, Patrick. Well, hey, man, we're going to wrap this one up, and we'll be back later on in the week, probably Thursday. Make sure check us out on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and what's the other one? Google Plus. We're only doing the webcast on Google. So I almost forgot Google Plus. That's pretty bad. But
Yeah, the one that hosts our TV, and you're gonna
The one that hosts. Yeah, man. Look, brain fart. I'm sorry, Google. Oh, but I did not forget. It is your birthday today. It is Google's 18th birthday today, Patrick.
let me clear something up about that. First of all, Google's birthday is on September 7th. Just so everybody knows. The 26th is when they launched the website. The 27th is when they actually got their very first search. So there's some stats for you. They claimed their birthday on the 27th because it was actually their very first web search.
Well,
but their birthday is actually on the 7th.
Well, all right. History lesson for all y'all there. Something I didn't know myself. I just sat there and I pulled up Google and I saw it was their 18th birthday, so that's why I said it. But
yeah. But anyway, happy birthday, Google.
But yeah, so we will talk to you guys later on this week to preview the NFL and college action coming up. And we will also talk about some Major League Baseball since the playoffs will start next week, including this, Patrick, the Chicago Cubs. So they will have the best record in the major leagues, but they will not be a host if they're able to go to the World Series. We'll go to the American League team since they won the All-Star game. So that'll be another topic we could dive into. But
I like it. Just so you know, I like it.
But until then, we will talk to you guys later on in the week. So take care, and we'll talk to you soon.